where do you start from when looking to turn your plot into an asset? The first stop is always the conventional construction model. Yet, alternative building technology is becoming the future of construction, ticking all the boxes from flexible design, cost effectiveness, time efficiency, quality, and eco-friendliness. Coming up, a conversation why alternative building technology is indeed the future of construction. Here is more.
I'm a person with a lot of passion about construction, specifically modular housing. I was in the insurance industry as a professional for 18 years. I did my time, and now I've gone into entrepreneurship, which is blood in the family. And I chose modular housing because it has been my quiet hobby for very many years. You know, the thing you always watch on YouTube until 2 a.m. And I've now turned my hobby into a passion for education and a passion to also build. And above that, I've also taken it upon myself to have a modular project so that I put my money where my mouth is. So my modular project is a resort in Naivasha. I'll give you the initials, I won't give you the whole name of the project. It's called AOV, a legacy project. So it's not just revenue generating, but it's also in memory of my late father who passed on 3 years ago and wanted to develop his property in Naivasha. Unfortunately, he passed on before he could, and my mother wanted to carry on that legacy and just honor her husband, and she asked us to join in as her children to honor dad. And that's exactly what we've done. So we're bringing his dream to life. A bit differently, but we're bringing his dream to life and we're very proud about it. The original project, what my father had left us, was a hotel-like setting, what you generally have on Moi South Lake in Naivasha. However, we decided to do a geological report of the area, and it's quite close to the lake because it's at the end of Moi South Lake Road. So we found that the soils were quite weak to hold the kind of building that he wanted. So that meant we had to put his project aside. Then we also wanted something different. I mean, for a person to drive all the way down to AOV, we have to offer something different. We're also pioneers in the family, so we didn't mind going crazy and doing something totally different from what is available. So what the project is a combination of a restaurant, what we're calling a clubhouse, and villas. So instead of giving clients the normal hotel setup, you know, where you're in this one room and then you go for meals in another, we're giving you a home away from home. So we'll have about 8 villas with different number of bedrooms where you can come as a couple, you can come alone, or you can come as a family. You can cook for yourselves. There'll be kitchens, or we can get a chef for you. But there'll also be a clubhouse where if you want to drive down on a Saturday to just have a meal by the lake and just relax and get away from the concrete jungle in Nairobi, then you can be able to sit in our clubhouse, have a view of the lake, enjoy the fresh air, and have a steak. Why we chose modular construction is because the soil in Naivasha had a very low load-bearing capacity. By that I mean it couldn't hold a heavy building well and for long. Now modular houses are much lighter because you basically do a normal foundation just like we do, but because the main house is going to be lighter, we don't go as deep as we do with conventional construction. The foundation is actually shallower. That means you affect the environment less. Then from there, you put up a steel frame. You have the design of the house. The steel frame is done in a factory. That means that the foundation and the superstructure of the house are actually done concurrently. The foundation is done on site, but the superstructure of the house is done in a factory. So once the foundation cures, they bolt up the steel frames in the factory, they bring them down to the site, and like I can tell you for the building that's already up on our site, a superstructure was put up in a day. So once the steel frame is up, they now build up the walls using fabricated cement boards and what we call glass wool in between to make it soundproof and also just to give it bulk and character. What I've experienced as both a client and a thought leader in the modular space is the speed. It's ridiculous. I've never seen anything like it. We broke ground for the current building that's there. We first built the staff quarters, which is about 78.5 meters squared. We broke ground on 24th of October, 2024, and that house is currently ready for occupation. It has 4 bedrooms, it has a kitchenette for the staff, it has a laundry room, and it has a store. And all that is now up and running. So the speed part of it is fantastic, especially for us who want to generate revenue. In construction, time is really money. So if I can save on time, it means that I start earning much earlier than most people. Then it's also the flexibility in design. There's a lot you can't do with concrete really because of how heavy it is. But because you're using a light gauge steel frame, you can actually dream up. If there's a house you've seen in your dream, you can present it to the ISM team and their architects will bring it to life. So we like the flexibility. The cost effectiveness, the original BQ we got for the building that my father wanted to put up was ridiculous. In fact, we would have shelved this plan a long time ago because it was just not financially feasible at the time. But when we came to ISM for a quote, we realized that we can actually do this without straining too much, and we phased it. So currently, we are on phase 1. It's a 2-phased project, and we are on phase 1. So the saving is about 20 to 30%, which is quite big, because then that's the same amount that we use in making the interiors special. I also like the fact that it's eco-friendly. So the land in Naivasha borders a conservancy. And so one of the things that we are going to give our clientele is that from your houses, you can wake up and see a giraffe, sometimes you'll see a buffalo from the conservancy that borders us. So with that, we felt that we need to be responsible entrepreneurs by making sure that we have something that does not affect the environment so much, so that we share the place with animals as well. So modular housing makes sure that there is very little disturbance to the environment. Actually, the only disturbance that there is the foundation, because everything else comes from the factory. So what that means is that I can do my landscaping concurrently with the building of the house. That's how much land is left, undisturbed. So in the conventional construction or traditional construction space, it takes 12 to 18 months. But in the modular space, it actually takes 90 days. And if your house is even smaller, it can take even a shorter time. Actually, you can get your house delivered, all done from the factory. And when I say all done, it means it's including finishings, delivered from the factory, placed on a flatbed lorry, and dropped on your site.
Alternative building technology is at the forefront of ease of construction, tailored for single dwelling, multiple housing, and commercial projects. At First Avenue, our real estate arm, we are open to answer your questions, and even better, we can arrange private viewing on projects that have used the modular construction.